everybody, welcome back once again, another edition of Top of the Tower. And it's number 11, and it's good to sit down with you a moment and just chat. It's been a while, hadn't it? Well, let's jump right into it. Well, where are we? As I look at it, kids, I feel like we're about 180 days out. Yes, there are some sectors that are moving. If you're in engineering and you're running structurals, or you're in engineering and you do construction drawings or surveys, you're busy. You're busy if you have customers you previously worked with. They're dialing you up now and you've got tables of work. I feel like the construction business should be busy. There's a lot of antenna change-outs going on, a lot of projects. Small cell really hasn't slowed down that much. When I say where we want to be, that's what I do. We're about 180 days out from the build-to-suit game. I think Jason and Todd have done an excellent job for me, setting me up, because we definitely have agreements with all the carriers. So we're just waiting for them to start dishing out some sites so we can take advantage of their offers. But it's going to be fun. So I started thinking, what is a good topic to talk about right now for Top of the Tower in episode 11? And one of the things I want to talk about is 5G and how it's different from all the other builds. 5G and how it's different from all the other builds. Well, what do we know? Well, it's going to be a bunch more sites. So we'll go back and touch all the sites each carrier has. They'll tune those up, and the small cells and whatnot. And then they'll come forward and they'll add a big bunch of more new sites. And that'll be in small cell as well as build to suit and rooftops and C-RAN and you name it, it'll all be added. And, they're saying somewhere around, a couple of years ago, we were all in Orlando and they were saying it was going to be 40K. If you remember that number, they were throwing out that it was going to take to complete 5G. I don't know if that number is still going to hold or not, or if it's going to rise, or it's going to shrink, or just stay right where it is. That's still unknown. I think how we look at each site, I've learned some new things about some of the people that I compete against. I had an opportunity to do some site acquisition work through another tower owner and working with them, and how they look at the site and how we look at the site and how other companies look at the site and how I was taught. And what I mean is how that gear looks up at the top. I mean, some of them say you got 10 foot of space, you can put whatever you want to in there, and if it'll hold it, that's it. Or some say you can only have so many antennas and so many RRUs. And then, I learned, even in the drawing phase, I learned alpha, beta, gamma, and now I saw an app the other day, you're going to add the delta, and I learned position, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, and come on around the horn, make that configuration, and then put those RRUs behind it, and your ray cap, and then the cable going down, you see what I mean. But it's a little different. Some of the companies look at that a little bit different. Didn't mean to get on a tangent, but, some of them look at seven TVs, 4 couches, and whatever, Better tools. I think that, 5G will bring on better tools, better equipment. The mapping software, the internal and the external, the physical part of what we do and what we touch, the antennas, everything that we handle is going to be better than all the other G's prior to that. The software that we use to tune the sites and all those pieces and how they connect to the switch. I'm not involved in all that. But all of that is going to be different as we progress more into 5G, because it's going to get better. I mean, even the mounts. I saw a picture of some mounts the other day, and they got a slot for the RRU. Is that going to be the new look? No. It's according to how much it costs and whether or not it fits into the model. You got to take that into consideration. 5G, we're going to have more information. More information about what we're looking for when we look for build to suit, or you're doing an antenna change out. You did an antenna change out when you were converting from 2G to 3G. The information that was available was different from the information that'll be from 4G to 5G. You know what I mean? So we'll have more information. It's going to cost more. I mean, let's face it. It costs more to build a house right now. I mean, if you're in where we live in Middle Tennessee, Nashville, the housing market has gone kaboom again, and you can't find a house in this town. But It's going to cost more. So, and everything's going to be more online, isn't it? It's more online. Whereas before we did these build outs, we did them more with Excel spreadsheets. And I think there'll still be some of that. But you're going to have software with more stringent parameters out there to monitor the build, whether it be an antenna change out, a site acquisition project, a build to suit project. You're going to get to be able to see that progress. We're already seeing a good bit of this last year, and you're just going to see more of it. Remote style management, and I think that's going to be challenging with some of the managers out there as they try to lead some of the younger people. And I may chat about that a little bit toward the end. But that's going to be a challenge as they just, make sure that those people that are not as used to what we're getting ready to do, because it's not going yet, kids. I mean, your hair's not on fire yet. And that's when we're going to be going. When you're up at night, you can't go to sleep, that's when you know you're into 5G. But you're not there yet. But in order to make sure that they understand, a lot of it will still be there tomorrow. Just continue to plug along as you go through that. And I think there's going to be a great opportunity to get the message out. And, even for me, to get the message out, that we build quality towers in an allocated time and with a let's stay in business type attitude, which creates my favorite moment, and that's separation from my competition, kind of a situation where they're over there and I'm over here. And I like that. So, but I think also, I don't think, when I look at the margins and as we look at it, I think some of that will get adjusted a little bit and only to maintain quality, because if we continue to try to do some of the stuff on a cash on cash or waiting on certain things to happen that we may not know may happen, it could be the death wish for all of us. So we got to be really careful and tippy-toe on some of those lines and make sure that we're making good decisions for our investors. So I think it'll be a little bit more tight niche as we go through the 5G build. But what will be the same? As you look at 5G and you say, Stork, what's going to be the same? Well, commitments. The commitment of what we got to do, and that's more of it. More sites, more commitments, and, with different levels of exposure. Some positive and some negative. You get that? Because we've just got a way of moving data a lot easier than we have in the past. You'll still see the same old companies overcommitting and under-delivering. I mean, that's kind of been something that's gone on. Hey, I want all this work, and then can't deliver. Ooh, that's really, because once you get that black eye with some of these companies, and I've had it in certain situations, or I've been on the stick of that, and it is not easy to overcome. It's like Groundhog Day. It just keeps coming back. You go in to call on a customer, and whatever it is you did, that comes back, and you just can't get over it. So you'll have to be careful with that. Each one of us will be in command of our own success, with the caveat that, we all know there are things that we can't control. That could be antenna supply, equipment supplies, construction vendors, not enough time to do the engineering work, so on and so forth. So, with certain things, you'll be in control of what you can control, with the caveat there are some things that you won't be able to control. You'll just have to set those things aside and let those people, march through their milestones and try to get that material or whatever it is that you need to you. And the big thing is, I think, there's going to be an uncertainty. An uncertainty where 5G will take us, different from the other Gs in the build out. The unknown always drives some excitement, don't it? And the biggest thing I think it is we're going to have a lot of fun, and we will learn something new, something we just didn't know, and hopefully we'll grow from it. From a U.S. perspective, though, I think there's still a challenge, and I'm faced with it myself, and that is how we manage. And I have a child. I'm trying to manage this very much so in a situation, not in a bad situation, but she's a young lady. She's 21 years old. She's trying to grow up in the world, and I'm trying to manage her. And I think that those age brackets right there, You're going to have to try to understand how to coach and motivate, because it's going to be a different build with these type of people. Not that they're bad or anything. They just think different than we did as we were younger. And we're going to have to take that into consideration as we go in every day to coach them and to make sure that they get their milestones complete. And that is people that report to us directly and indirectly. You know what I mean? Well, boy, that's been a long top of the tower. And you know what next month is? It is May, and we will do number 12. So until then, stay safe.